Who wants candy?
It's the suburban dream, to settle down in a place of our own and start a family. But what really goes on behind those white picket fences and trimmed lawns can turn the dream into a nightmare. Richard and Marie Poling are the salt of the earth. A hard-working couple raising a young family in the suburbs of Warren, Ohio in 1987.
She was a nurse's aide in a county nursing home.
Who wants candy?
Richard worked in the mills on midnight turn and slept in the daytime.
Their shift work means they often pass each other like ships in the night.
I'm gonna go into the mill early tonight to set up for the shift.
Do you have to?
Tonight is different. Marie has big news.
What's got into you tonight?
Well, I thought maybe we could celebrate.
That's positive, right?
Are you ready for number 3?
Hey, who wants another brother or sister?
Richard was not only a good provider for her and a good father to their children, this is a man who took responsibility and commitment seriously.
Marie seems equally dedicated to the family, but appearances can be deceiving.
Out in public, she wasn't quite the homebody that you would expect.
Cover for me? Again? Please.
She commenced an affair with a younger man she met at work.
6 years her junior, 21-year-old Raphael Garcia is infatuated.
I looked at Raphael as a follower. He was somewhat submissive, a little bit of a loner, kind of on his own, probably been pushed around most of his life, and there was some acceptance here by Marie.
Come over, Shy.
What about your husband?
He's working a late shift.
Okay.
There's something I want to tell you.
She's a powerful woman, a very powerful woman, and persuasive.
Marie was the point in her life that she didn't want to continue to live with Richard.
I liked seeing you in this house.
Marie began to fantasize being with Raphael rather than her husband.
Marie has a plan, but she needs Raphael's complete commitment. So she tells a lie that ensures his devotion.
Marie thought she could manipulate Raphael through their sexual relationship, and she was right.
I'm having your baby.
You're pregnant? Are you sure it's mine?
Yes. I don't let Richard touch me.
It works. By the time the baby boy is born, Raphael is convinced the child is his son.
Raphael thought that this was the one. He was gonna replace Richard, and he was gonna be the love of Marie's life forever.
On the other side of the world, in the clubs of Adelaide, Australia, in the late 1990s, 25-year-old Michelle Burgess is an expert in the art of seduction.
Michelle's well known for her bedroom eyes. There are few men that she's laid eyes on who have not felt her bedroom eyes.
The only man Michelle doesn't have eyes for these days is her 28-year-old husband, Darren.
What's your excuse this time?
There was this constant tension between them over her wandering eye,
What's that?
I got pinched.
Well, you think this is funny?
and the fact that she wasn't particularly interested in being a mother once their son had arrived.
Don't even laugh at me. Your kid's been up waiting for you. Has it been the footy team?
Oh, get over it. No, get over it.
Darren Burgess was an extremely loyal man, perhaps a little naive, a little too forgiving, but essentially a really good man at heart who really unfortunately married a dangerous sexual predator.
No man is off limits for Michelle.
So you got a tat to show me, eh? Come on.
Not even her husband's boss, Kevin Matthews, who she meets at the office Christmas party.
Oh, you can't wait, can you?
Kevin thought himself a bit of a ladies' man, a bit of a lady killer, a person who liked to be the life of the party.
She saw him as perhaps a little bit powerful.
All right.
She believed she could take a step up in the world. Michelle was actually flashing about a new tattoo of a rose that she had on her one of her buttocks.
Michelle flirts outrageously with Kevin in full view of his wife, Carolyn.
Carolyn actually approached Darren to say, your wife is out there showing her ass to my husband.
Come on, Darren, settle down.
You keep out of this. If you act like this, I'm going home.
Come on.
What are you all looking at? I'm going then. That's what you want?
Bye.
Michelle and Kevin's flirtation leads to an affair, but Carolyn isn't giving up her husband without a fight.
She had 3 children, she had a husband, she had a happy life in the suburbs. She was not going to have this woman destroy it if she could help it. So she tried to warn her off.
Hello?
Stay away from my husband.
Michelle essentially laughed at her.
She was very, very selfish. Life was all about Michelle Burgess, and nobody else mattered.
In January 2001, Darren discovers the extent of Michelle's deception. And this time, he's not prepared to forgive and forget.
You think I'm an idiot? What's this? I'm out of here. It's over.
What?
Darren saw that his wife and his boss had been exchanging text messages and phone calls by the 100. And that was the last straw for him. He finally decided to leave.
Marie Pohling's marriage is also coming to an end, but on her terms.
Her move was to bring Raphael into her life full-time, and the only way to do that without any interference was to kill Richard.
Marie has been contemplating just how to go about it for a long time.
In domestic homicides, you might get a sudden rage, you get angry, and we see violence. That's commonplace. But this went on for months.
On January 8th, 1988, she's finally ready to eliminate her husband, Richard.
She felt she could commit the perfect murder. Richard came home from work, laid down on the couch and fell asleep.
She takes Richard's .38 revolver, and she puts a pillow over the gun.
and executed him on the couch, shot him in the head.
So this was a powerful, dominating woman who had no conscience, cold-hearted, vicious.
Murder comes easy to Marie, but she can't do the cleanup alone. She enlists her 26-year-old co-worker, Carlene Robinson.
Hello? Carlene, it's me.
What's up?
I need you to come over.
Carlene went from being a friend and work associate to an accomplice after the fact of murder.
They wrap Richard in bed sheets and drag him to the basement. Then it's time for Raphael to do what Marie has groomed him for.
They wanted to cut Richard's head off and thought by separating his skull from the body, they would not be able to identify him.
On Marie's instructions, Raphael has been to a local hardware store.
What happened to the chainsaw?
It's too messy. This was cheap to rent.
It's a rental.
Raphael borrowed money from Carlene, went to a local rental area.
With $4.20, rented an axe. And in fact, he returned the axe within an hour.
I don't know if I can do this.
Of course you can. Here. Hey.
Raphael is Marie's puppet. She knows just what strings to pull.
Do this one thing for me. And then you, me, our son, will all be together.
Raphael believed that the baby was his baby. And listened to everything she would say.
May God forgive me.
Between 10 and 20 swings were taken with the axe. It wasn't easy. It's hard to describe someone that does these things, and I can't understand how this could be done, but it was done.
Gruesome murder would seem a million miles from the family-friendly suburbs of Adelaide, Australia. But it's closer than Carolyn and Kevin Matthews might think. Kevin and Michelle's affair is ongoing. But Michelle's had enough of being the other woman.
Michelle has decided that she wants more than illicit sex in hotel rooms.
He obviously made her promises. I'll leave my wife, you come with me.
Michelle wants the comfortable, affluent life of Kevin's wife. And there's only one way to get it. She hires a hitman.
David Key was virtually illiterate. He was a heavy drug user. He was just out of jail and he had a huge appetite for alcohol. He was a ticking time bomb waiting to explode.
Michelle offers David Key $25,000 to kill Carolyn.
Sweet.
And since it's a contract killing, Michelle draws up her own.
And it's hers.
Yeah.
You do it?
Yeah.
Michelle wants Carolyn dead so she can be with Kevin. But even before the deed is done, she's sleeping with the hired gun.
Exactly how she pictures that she's going to sail off into the sunset with Kevin whilst maintaining an affair with a hitman, I'm not too sure.
On July 12, 2001, Michelle and David Key are waiting outside the Matthews house. When Kevin takes the children to the video store, Carolyn is at home alone. They seize the moment.
Get in! What are you doing?
Carolyn had no idea why her husband's lover and this strange, angry, violent man have suddenly come into her house.
Do it! Kill her. Do it! Do it. Come on, be a man. You won't get paid. No, you don't. Come on.
Shut up!
She was not a violent woman. I don't think she actually knew how to defend herself.
The last moments of her life must have been filled with terror and pain.
Let's go. Come on.
They make no attempt to clean up the murder scene.
There was a lot of blood everywhere.
Tragically, the first to find her are Carolyn's sons.
Bob! Daniel, go to your room. Let's go to your room now. Shane, call 000. Do it!
They arrive home less than an hour after the brutal attack.
My mum's been hurt really bad.
The family struggles to do what they can.
Is she responding?
No.
But nothing can save Carolyn.
She was stabbed 41 times. Carolyn Matthews had died a very hard and brutal death.
Kevin Matthews seems grief-stricken. But police soon discover his affair with Michelle.
You've been having an affair, Mr. Matthews?
No, I haven't, but I've been accused.
We could see that Kevin was absolutely lying.
The police suspected Kevin of being involved.
The spouse is always top of the suspect list in a domestic killing. But in Warren, Ohio, Marie Poling believes she'll get away with her husband's murder by clever disposal of his remains. She believes Richard's body won't be identified without his head.
So their plan, let's put a lot of distance between the body and the head. They drove off to Pennsylvania,
Come on.
dumped the body, and then they drove south on 79 towards West Virginia and threw the head in a ravine.
Marie actually thought she could get away with murder, the perfect murder. She was wrong.
Richard's headless body is found less than 2 weeks later, and police can identify him from his fingerprints, which leads them straight to Marie.
What hours did Marie Poling work that day?
She didn't. She called in sick.
Marie's alibi doesn't check out.
Does Marie have any other friends on the staff?
Well, she was very close to Raphael.
We sought Raphael out, got him to admit to his involvement, and broke the case wide open.
Raphael even helps police recover Richard's head.
You told us that you were at work the day that Richard died.
Marie was ice cold in the interrogation.
That's right.
But you weren't. You called in sick.
Just that 100-mile stare, just look you dead in the eye. I could feel the hair on the back of my head stand up.
Please stand.
All three are arrested. For her involvement, Carlene Robinson is convicted of obstruction of justice and perjury. She's sentenced to 18 months behind bars. Raphael Garcia is convicted of aggravated burglary, abuse of a corpse, and obstruction of justice. He serves 13 years before being released in 2001.
She drug Raphael into this, she drug Carlene. Both of them went to prison because of Marie.
In 1988, Marie Poling is convicted of aggravated murder. and abuse of a corpse.
Maria's just a straight, cold-blooded killer. She's manipulative, she used other people, and she controlled the situation.
She is sentenced to life with a minimum of 20 years. She has been denied parole 5 times.
She should remain in prison for the rest of her life.
This woman is beyond redemption. She's exactly where she needs to be, and I hope she never gets out. She's dangerous.
A murderous spouse rarely gets away with it. And in Adelaide, Australian police are closing in on Kevin Matthews.
You've been having an affair, Mr. Matthews?
No, I haven't, but I've been accused.
Kevin Matthews is a coward. He's selfish, self-centred. And Michelle Burgess brought out his absolute worst.
Phone records show 19 calls between Kevin and Michelle the day of his wife's murder. Together, they arrange for Kevin to get the boys out of the house.
He did that to create a window of opportunity for David Key and Michelle to drive to Kevin's house and murder his wife. He knew his wife would die that night, and he set up the situation for it to occur.
Michelle again calls Kevin straight after the murder.
Michelle let him know that the job had been done and that it was safe for him to return home with his boys.
Then he knowingly allows his sons to discover their mother's body.
He would have realised that his boys were walking into a horrific scene that they were never, ever going to be able to wipe from their memories, and yet he seems to have done it without a second thought.
It shows what a cowardly, craven dog of a man he really was.
Meanwhile, police discover Michelle's new boyfriend, David Key, has an outstanding warrant for breaching parole.
That day when they arrested Key, they found the contract on Carolyn's life in Key's wallet.
Handwriting analysis shows Michelle wrote the contract. And when David learns he's not the love of Michelle's life, he testifies against her.
He realised that he was just a simpleton that had been used by someone a bit smarter than him.
In 2003, David Key pleads guilty to murder and is sentenced to 20 years. Kevin Matthews is found guilty of murder and receives life without parole.
He wore this mask of decency of being an upright father and businessman and husband, but he was none of that.
The mastermind, Michelle Burgess, also gets life for murder.
3 boys don't have a mother. They have nothing but contempt for their father. Another family have lost their daughter. It's a damn crying shame.
Even in prison, Michelle continues to act as a sexual predator. After a number of incidents, authorities rule that no male correctional officer is ever to be left alone with her.
If Michelle Burgess is let out one day, if I was one of the men in the retirement home that she lands in, I'd be very worried.
When a marriage falls apart, the ending is usually decided in a court.
No!
But when one of the parties reaches their own verdict, divorce can be a death sentence. In 2004, in the affluent enclave of Brentwood, Tennessee, business is booming for Jeffrey and Martha Freeman.
I never thought we'd grow so fast.
Martha and Jeffrey had a company that would do background checks for apartment complexes.
44-year-old Jeffrey is completely dedicated to the business.
Jeffrey was a very quiet man, stayed to himself quite often. He was characterized as a workaholic.
Yes, I
He worked 12 to 13 hours every day. He was just a really good guy, and he was very good to Martha.
I'd rather be working from home.
But 40-year-old Martha isn't satisfied with her hard-working husband and comfortable home. She wants more from life.
Martha seemed to have issues, and nobody could find out, couldn't put a handle on what it was.
Martha stops going to the office, and home alone turns to prescription drugs.
She was on painkillers, antidepressants. I don't know that she needed them all, but she took them to keep herself happy, I guess, during the day.
But the drugs can't cure a restless soul. To lift Martha's spirits,
Oh, amazing.
Jeffrey takes her out to celebrate the 4th of July, 2004. Jeff has booked a room in a hotel for the night, but it doesn't turn out to be the party Martha is hoping for.
Let's stay longer. Let's keep partying.
Jeffrey didn't want to stay and decided he wanted to go back home.
You know, I'd love to, but...
He probably wanted to go home and get up early so he could go to church the next day.
Well, I don't.
Martha thought she already had the room. She was going to stay, and she was going to experience the celebration.
In her pursuit of excitement, Martha does something completely reckless.
She chose that night to basically sleep with 3 strangers.
She had sexual relations with all 3 of these men.
Certainly that was a bizarre thing to do. I don't know if she was having some type of midlife crisis.
One of the trio is 35-year-old Raphael Roca Perez.
He was from Mexico. He was here in the country illegally. He was a very large, sturdy guy.
In Raphael, Martha finds the excitement she's been longing for. She decides he's more than a one-night stand and dumps her husband for him.
Martha moved out of the house, moved into another local hotel, and had Raphael move in with her.
Martha has her fresh start. That same quest for freedom draws many people to the tiny Virgin Island of St. John. For 37-year-old wealthy widow Amanda Perry, it's a safe haven after failing to make it as an actress.
She was very disillusioned. She never got a decent role. And finally, she pretty much gave up on that dream. She went off on vacation to St. John. And she decided that was where she wanted to live.
For 30-year-old musician Grant Hayes, the tourist hub of St. John is a chance to be discovered.
The world was his oyster, and he really thought it was going to lead to some successful career.
Hey, mojito?
Hey, what can I say? I'm a fan, you know.
She just fell for that gorgeous smile and that wonderful charisma, and she wanted to get to know him better.
Maybe you could teach me a chord or two.
Sure, we can work something out.
Grant's motives are a little more selfish. A wealthy benefactor is just what he needs to kickstart his career.
It's okay. Go and get it.
I'll get it there now.
And support his wife and children back home in North Carolina.
Grant was a Lothario. He loved women, and he felt like he could charm just about any woman he met.
Hey, good morning.
Hey.
Oh, smells good.
Amanda falls hard for Grant's charms. She's not concerned when she learns he has an ex-wife and family.
Hey, how's our boy?
Much better.
Thank God for that.
But in truth, there's nothing ex about Grant's wife. 25-year-old Laura Ackerson. She's back in Kinston, raising their 2 boys alone, while Grant chases his dream in paradise.
It's ready. Who is that?
Oh, that's just an investor helping me with something.
Really?
Yeah, really. Look, I've got to go, all right?
He tells Laura that he met a new investor, but Laura kind of thinks there's something more going on after a while, but she doesn't push it.
My crazy ex.
Oh, really? Well, she's got herself in competition now.
She pretty quickly developed a relationship with him.
Want breakfast?
Yeah, sure.
Grant is already planning a whole new future, one that doesn't include Laura.
They flew out to Las Vegas, where Amanda and Grant got married.
Laura is blindsided.
Hi, Laura. Amanda and I tied the knot. You and I were never really married because I never signed the paperwork.
As hard as that is to understand, she wasn't legally married to Grant, and now Grant was married to Amanda.
It's her. Hey, called to congratulate us. Put Grant on. I would, but like, he's really busy.
And it just went downhill and got worse and worse and worse, especially when Grant and Amanda tried to take Laura's kids.
Martha Freeman has upended her 10-year marriage to husband Jeffrey for life in a hotel room with her Latin lover.
¿Cómo está?
¿Cómo?
Martha speaks no Spanish, and Raphael Roca Perez no English. Yet for 6 months, they rarely leave the hotel.
I believe that their relationship was built on sexual gratification.
Inevitably, their love bubble bursts.
Do you have any money?
No.
Martha needs cash, and there's only one place she can get it. Her wealthy husband.
Jeffrey Freeman was a very forgiving person.
I just want to come home.
How can I believe you?
I'm so sorry.
I believe he loved Martha deeply. I believe he wanted their marriage to work.
Let me come home.
In March 2005, Jeffrey relents. Martha moves back home, but not into the marital bed.
Jeffrey's sleeping in the master bedroom. Martha's sleeping in a guest bedroom.
Why'd you lock the door?
I just got in the habit of living in the hotel.
The sleeping arrangements suit Martha perfectly.
I'm off to the office.
She's returned home with some excess baggage.
Now, where were we?
When Jeffrey heads to the office, Raphael comes out to play.
Jeffrey was addicted to his job, and he spent most of the day, well into the evening, at work. So Raphael had the run of the house most of the time. He spent more time in Jeffrey's house than Jeffrey did.
Martha has everything she wants under one roof. The sugar of a rich husband and the spice of a secret lover. While Jeffrey's at home, Raphael is confined to the closet.
The closet where Raphael was hiding while Jeffrey was at home had a pallet in it, a makeshift bed.
How do you do?
From a TV to a radio to magazines, and there was a large amount of food.
This bizarre routine continues for over a month, Jeffrey none the wiser, until the night of April 10th, 2005.
Jeffrey heard a noise. He heard Raphael snoring.
What the heck? Hey, wake up!
No, Jeffrey, it's all right. It's okay.
Who is this?
He's just a friend.
There was an argument at that point.
No more lies!
There's nowhere else to go. Just one night.
I'm going out. When I come back, I want him gone!
He told her, I'm going to go walk the dog. When I come back, he better be gone.
Martha must make a choice. Her exotic lover or her husband's money. She decides she wants both.
There was a darker side to Martha, and I don't know that we'll ever know what that is.
Music man Grant Hayes and his new wife Amanda have also reached a decision. They want Grant's ex, Laura Ackerson, out of their lives. And that means winning full custody of Grant's children.
Cut it out!
But their application doesn't go well.
The judge ordered a psychological investigation of both families.
If you're not gonna play nice, no one gets the toy.
Boys, am I right?
Too much fat. Whoa, you're super fast.
It was clear from what she wrote that the boys were safer and in a more stable environment when they were with Laura.
Laura is granted shared custody of the boys.
So from Friday evening to Sunday evening, the boys would be with Laura.
Damn it!
That just threw a huge kink in their plans. He and Amanda wanted to move back to New York.
It's not good.
Pursue their dreams of music and fame and fortune.
Instead, they're stuck in North Carolina, so the boys are close to their mom.
You know what I have to do.
Neither he nor Amanda wanted Laura to be in their life any longer.
On July 13th, 2011, Amanda and Grant make Laura an offer she can't refuse.
And when he asked her if she'd like to have a midweek visit, she jumped at the chance because she just loved to see her boys as much as she could.
She's coming in 30 minutes.
That's who she was more than anything, was a mom.
You gonna be ready?
Yeah, I'm gonna be ready.
Laura had no idea what she was in for.
Oh, hi. This is a pleasant surprise. Where are they?
From the very beginning to the very end, I think they worked as a team to annihilate Laura.
For Amanda, it was more female jealousy. I want you dead. I want you out of my husband's and my life. And that's what happened.
And it happens to Jeffrey Freeman, too, when he gives his wife an ultimatum. Martha must choose between her husband and her lover.
I'm in here.
Is he gone?
Yes.
When Jeffrey came home, Martha and Raphael had planned to kill him.
By the time Jeffrey realizes he's the runner-up.
Is he gone?
Yes. Get down on your knees.
Get down.
It's too late.
He used the butt of the shotgun to beat him with.
Give me the gun. Here. Come back.
I believe it's her idea to put the plastic bag over his head to keep blood from getting on her house.
He was strangled with a large amount of telephone cord.
To add insult to fatal injury, the couple then have sex within sight of Jeffrey's body.
The fact that a woman had just participated in the murder of her husband and then had sexual relations shows such a cold, black heart.
But the killer couple hasn't planned the disposal of the body.
I don't think they could come up with any plausible idea on what to do.
So 16 hours after the murder, Martha decides to save herself.
A man killed my husband.
Martha runs across the street to her neighbor, bangs on the door, and says, "This man has killed my husband."
She left Raphael standing in the home by himself. He ran out the back door not knowing what to do.
He's quickly apprehended.
She's saying, "Well, I know this man murdered my husband."
But police don't believe for a moment Raphael acted alone.
She didn't leave the home, make a call, or do something to assist Jeffrey.
Raphael Roca Perez and Martha Freeman both plead not guilty to first-degree murder. But in 2006, a jury takes less than 2 hours to find them guilty as charged.
They both got a life sentence, which in Tennessee is 51 years before you meet the parole board.
Martha Freeman blew up her perfect life for the sake of illicit thrills, and then betrayed the men who gave her both.
Martha Freeman didn't have to work, supported by her husband, lived in a lovely house, but inside she had a cold, black heart. Betrayed her husband's love and ultimately took his life.
Laura Ackerson is also betrayed by the father of her children. Grant Hayes and his new wife Amanda have lured her to her death. But they're not finished yet.
What happened after this murder is what will just rock your world.
They set out to erase Laura's existence.
I don't even like thinking about what went on in the bathroom of that apartment. Laura's body was cut into pieces and packed away in coolers. How could anyone even think about that, much less do it?
Towing the body parts in a trailer, the killers embark on a road trip. Destination, a sprawling property in Texas owned by Amanda's sister.
They asked Amanda's sister if there were alligators out back in the canal area. Why would they do that?
So late one night, they went out in a boat and they dumped those body parts into the water and hoped the alligators finished it all.
Killing someone is one thing, completely disrespecting their body is a level of meanness beyond most people's comprehension.
But Laura has people who love her, and she's soon reported missing.
The first names that are going to come up by anybody who knows her is Grant Hayes, and then after that, Amanda.
We got a search warrant for Grant and Amanda's apartment. The thing I remember about going in that first time, this large bleach stain on the floor when you walk in, and you get this odor of bleach when you walk in.
There's only one thing detectives think when they walk into a house and all they can smell is bleach, and that is, what happened here and where is the body now?
Finally, the evidence leads to the Texas swamp, where the gators have only half finished the job.
They never did find all of her body parts, but it was a sad and gruesome discovery.
Police build a solid case, but Amanda truly seals their fate when she confides in her sister.
Amanda told her, I hurt Laura really bad.
In 2013, Grant Hayes is found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison with no parole. In 2014, Amanda Hayes is convicted of the lesser charge of second-degree murder. But an additional charge of tampering with a corpse means a total sentence of 36 years.
Amanda is just as evil and manipulative as Grant. They are two peas in a pod, and they're meant for each other. They're both where they deserve to be.